One, two, three. Hi, welcome back to Your Perfect Cat. And today I am going to talk to you about teaching your cat various commands. Now, one thing to know about teaching cat commands is that you can teach them whatever you want. You can choose your commands. You can use the same commands that you might use with a dog. Just, pick your commands that you want to teach and the gestures that you want to go with them and stick with them. That's one of the main things there. But I'm going to give you a few tips here and where to start. So one of the first things you want to do is to get your cat to touch your finger with its nose. And it's just very easy. I'm going to show you a video where I did it with my cats. It's not very easy to see, where I just kind of crook my finger like so and then call the cat over and they touch their nose to my finger. And almost every cat will do that. And then after they do that, praise them, keep having them do that until you, get your cat to actually follow your finger. So you can move your finger to a different place and have your cat come and touch its nose to it and then, praise the cat. And that's like the very simplest thing and a really great place to start. And it increases that, it teaches your cat that, there's things to do. You've got a little gesture and then they get a bunch of praise and, you might give them a treat. And so it's more encouragement to actually pay attention to when there's other things that you want to teach them. So, like I said before, teach any command with a gesture. I recommend a single word, but you're not limited to that. You don't have to be as simple as you might with a dog. Cats do understand more complete sentences and multiple words. And as I said, pick whatever commands that you want. So these could be things like sit. You can teach your cat to stay. You can teach your cat to lay down, using down. You can teach them to come. I've had some success teaching my cats to come. I've heard from other cat owners that one's really hard for cats to learn. Now, I'll tell you that they don't do it every time. It's not unlike a dog that sometimes comes and sometimes doesn't when you call them. But for the most part, they do. And when I make a certain gesture, and I always say come to the cat rather than come to the, I use a single word for the dog. Almost always. It's rare that the cat doesn't come. And always, sticking out your little finger and crooking it will get your cat to come. You might want to teach your cat to high five. There's plenty of people who've done that, and it's just a matter of showing them a little bit of what you want. And when they get close, particularly with high five, you want to, if they get close, praise them. And then, obviously, when they do get it, get really excited. And some cats are just naturally, they take to this stuff. Like they do that. Like they put out their paw at you. And then, you tell them the word high five and put your hand up and they touch it. And you just, you're in that way, your cat has taught you to high five. I've seen rollover. I've also seen dance. And that's usually twirling. So you want to get your cat to go into a circle. So again, the easiest way to start is with your little crook finger and have them follow the nose. And then until they get it and get, you can go faster. And at some point, your command is up higher where you're standing rather than bent over, in front of the cat's nose. And they just turn for you and turn. And they'll turn in either direction. Now, the one thing that you want to do in this case, in the previous videos, I said you don't have to be consistent. Well, you don't have to be consistent in training every day or, some of that kind of thing. But you do want to be consistent with your words and your gestures. So that's going to be really important because the cat's going to associate a particular gesture with a particular word. And when they see the gesture, they'll do the trick. And if they hear the word, they'll do the trick. If you give them a different word, you might get a different reaction out of them. They might not do anything. They might do the trick that you want, And just to let you know, one thing that I've done a little bit differently, and I'm not sure exactly why, it just came kind of naturally to me. I use slightly different gestures with the cats than I do with dogs. Like I mentioned before, I use come come for the cat and just come for the dog. And my gestures for come for the cat are like this. And I don't use that kind of gesture for the dog at all. And it's has to do, for me, it has to do with the difference in behaviors between cats and dogs. Different gestures are going to get your cat's attention more, and that's something that you'll have to play with a little bit because it depends on your cat. As it turns out, my two cats are fairly young, so I have one that's 3 and one that's about a year and a half. And the cats that I had before had passed away before I got Finn, who's now 3. And one cat was a very natural cat at being out there. He was very, friendly and wanted to do things. And he would have been extremely easy to train. And there's some things I did with him and did train him to do, and it was simple. And I had another cat who was also very friendly and easy to train. Now, these two, I was hoping that I would get some really bold, super friendly cats. And these two are a little bit more, they're a little bit more spooked. They're a little shyer. It doesn't take much to spook them in some cases, they're a little unsure of other people. And you might have a cat like that. And in that case, it just takes more patience. It's not that you can't get them to do things for you. You absolutely can. I have been able to get my shyer cats to go out and walk on a leash and to come and to, they follow me around the house. And yet there are still some things that they're a little bit more unsure of and then react to. So this is natural. This is normal. It's something that as you work with your cat over time, if you have one of these cats that's a bit more shy, that they will come out of their shell and they'll be happy to go out. My Bengal asks me to go out all the time. The Cheeto does not, and that has to do with he had a really bad experience and he hasn't forgotten it. So cats' memories of a bad experience tend to last for a long time. And if you're familiar with cats and you've ever yelled at them or anything like that, you probably know that the cat remembers, that they had a bad experience and then they want nothing to do with that experience, like going outside or with that person, at least for a while. So, as you train your cat with various commands, just the main thing, use the same commands, the same words with the same gestures. Be patient. It only takes a few minutes every day to try these things out. And if you forget one day, that's all right. It's not like the cat will forget. But you just, like I said, patience and just, repeating these words and these gestures over time. And if you're very interested in having your cat do it right away with every gesture, then practicing frequently is going to be the key to your success. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And please, give it a like, subscribe, leave comments. Let me know what has worked for you in the past, because in this case, I'm giving you my experience over many decades of having various cats, and my experiences could be very different from yours. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.